love driving rear-wheel drive in the snow. Welcome back, I'm Tedward, and it's a beautiful snowy day here in New England. The M3 is covered. We've got about 6 inches to a foot of snow today, and they have not done a very good job plowing the streets. I don't know what it looks like outside of my neighborhood. There's actually a plow truck stuck at the top of the street, so hopefully we can get out. But first, I wanted to try seeing if we can use our leaf blower to blow the snow off. It's a bit heavier than the last run, but why not give it a shot just for fun, you know? Slightly more functional than I imagined, but still not going to get the job done. You're going to want to make sure that if you're going to go out driving in the snow, you get all the snow off your car, because this stuff falling off, maybe it looks light and powdery, but a lot of times this stuff gets icy, chunky, and it can be really dangerous for other drivers if you're just slamming them in the face with snow. It's not a good look. Also, you're going to want to make sure you've got good tires. I'm on Vredestein Wintrac Pros. This is a good snow tire. All right, she's good enough. Let's see if we can get her out of this snow. Start it up. And unlike my tires, I do not have the right equipment on my feet. Let's start it up. Right to life. Now, another thing, just for the sake of safety, if you're going to be starting your car and letting it run and idle, always make sure that your tailpipe is clear, because if this is like an ice tomb, it's going to suffocate you. You're going to get carbon monoxide poisoning in your car. So just from a safety standpoint and liability on my part, don't go idling your car unless you've kind of cleared that out. Let's see if we can't get out. Little slidey, but the job has been done. Now, let's find out if we're going to be able to clear what the plows have done to our driveway. Yeah, we can make that. There we go, that's the stuff. All right, we'll turn traction off so we can get slidey if we need to. That's the stuff. Driving in this weather is definitely the best way to learn car control, because the less grip you have, sure, it becomes more dangerous, but it also allows you to do things that you wouldn't really be able to do unless you were in like really fast, crazy circumstances when it's dry and warm. But like, I can't do that unless it's snowing. I mean, I can, but I'd have to be going 80 miles an hour like a psychopath. Best part about the snow is even if you have a low power car, 100 horsepower becomes 1,000 horsepower in the snow. Anything can break the wheels loose. And that's what's fun. Suddenly you can power slide. Oh, look, a horse! That's real horsepower. Hey, bud. Oh, good horsey. Hi, you like it? The snow is fun too because you get to do all this stuff without really abusing your car. You do have to look out for a couple things. So, number one, yes, it's cold, but if you're just revving the heck out of your engine, you're not moving that fast. So there's not a whole lot of air flowing, which means you can still overheat your car if you're just revving, and you're only going like 10 miles an hour. It can be a lot of fun, but you can still do some damage. The other thing is that if you're doing a lot of steering, right? You're lock to lock, having fun. You can actually overheat your power steering pumps. So you need to be cautious about that. You still don't want to abuse your car despite the fact that it's cold and you feel like, well, this is fine, but there are circumstances that you just don't realize you're encountering because you're making so many inputs at low speeds. ABS can be your friend, but remember, I've got no traction here and traction here. If I stand on the brakes, I'm really not going to be able to stop very quickly because it's trying not to lock up the tire that's on the slippery stuff. You got to remember, there are surface changes, right? The road, it's not homogenized. I've got a layer of slush, I've got a layer of snow, I've probably got some salt or sand under there, but then there's pavement. So you've got to remember that, like, in some circumstances, you might find dry pavement when you expected there to be snow and ice or, slippery stuff. You've got to be really careful if you're carrying speed through any kind of like slide. You don't want to end up in a position where you can't control it because you just encountered a new surface. And despite the fact that you might have wonderful car control, you're still going to want to keep the speeds down because this is not a good surface for stopping on, even with snow tires, right? I've got snow tires, winter tires, and it's still not ideal for bringing the car back down if something were to run out into the road. Keep the speeds down, headlights on, and use this opportunity, if you're going to be out driving, to learn what happens when you lose grip. Big surface changes. That's the thing, we're catching that dry pavement. Not a good look. To make the roads safer in these kind of conditions, I do wish that driving schools required more winter driving, or at least like courses during the winter. If you're getting your license in the summer or something, that you were able to experience what it's like to drive in like ultra low grip environments. Now, there are courses where you can do that, and usually they're kind of like through an insurance company that maybe might lower your rate if you've completed it, but they're not a requirement, which means very few people are actually doing it relative to the population who's driving. I wish that also authorities were a little more forgiving. And I know this is a fuzzy line, but look at this. People just like with their roof completely covered in snow. Unbelievable. Dumb. But I wish authorities were a little more forgiving for people who are out in like a parking lot, right? Just learning to slide, learning to drive. Now, I understand if you're out there with 5, 6 of your friends tandem drifting through a Target lot, security's not going to be happy. They don't want that liability, and I don't blame them. But if you've got a safe place to go out and just get a little slidey and figure out like, ooh, will my car turn? Right? Like I'm understeering and then it's hooking, and then I'm understeering and it's hooking. Those are things that are really important to know in the event of kind of an emergency situation, because you can go out and you can crawl along as slow as you want through this kind of stuff. And you could be really cautious and careful, but all it takes is for something to catch you off guard or your foot to slip, and then you're like, oh no, what do I do now? And that's not great. That doesn't help anyone become a better driver. And we seem to just get mad at people for hooning around when they're really not. The other side of it is always taking into account other people's safety. You don't want to be driving crazy near people, because if something does happen, if the car does get away from you, you don't want to go into the poor old lady shoveling out the end of her driveway. Someone's having a bad time. Give him a little distance. Please don't slide that into me. Thank you. Did you get stuck in a ditch? Ah, it appears you've gone here. That's not fun. And I go nice and slow, respect the size and momentum of this plow. Jeez. I do love driving rear-wheel drive in the snow, just because you can do things to entertain yourself in a safe way. And you do get, a good gauge of like what it takes to initiate a drift. And this is very helpful if you're somebody who's a spirited, enthusiastic driver. I mean, low grip conditions are so excellent for learning car control. This is why rally drivers are so great, because they're able to go between like dirt, snow, gravel, pavement incredibly quickly, and they know how to adjust for those things. It's such a good talent and skill to have. This town seems to have more money than my town, because this is actually like well plowed and salted. Unfortunate for me. I'm gonna be honest, all-season tires have gotten really good. It used to be like all seasons were no seasons, but there are some pretty legitimate all-season tires out there now. And I still recommend, though, that you get yourself a dedicated set of winters if you do live in an environment that ends up giving you like legitimate snowfall. There's something to be said for a tread pattern that's going to help you turn, accelerate, and stop. And especially if you're in a rear-wheel drive vehicle. It's just, you got to do it. Look at this legend in the Crown Vic. Handicap placard, full send, attaboy. Deep slides. Oh, catch it on the other side. So, I just always think snow is great for car control. I think you should go out and drive in the snow. I think you shouldn't be driving in the snow if you don't know how to catch your car, if you don't know what inputs mean what, you know? You should be able to do like little shallow slides, very controlled. And if you can't do things like that, it's easy to learn. Go with someone who can teach you. And like, let the car do the work. Don't fight nature. Don't fight the car. Road camber is also important to look for, because if you go and take that corner and you're on a big hill, you might just slide right off of it. You don't want to be in that position. But if you follow the road, puppies, yes. Hey guys. Oh, there's more dogs. 2 Bernese mountain dogs, and then these guys having fun in the snow. Another dog. Oh man, these dogs love the snow. Well, unfortunately, it looks like the plows have done their job. I'm getting too much grip to have fun. So I think we're gonna call it a day. Thank you guys so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Don't forget to respect the drive. Be respectful of the people around you if you're gonna go out and play in the snow. Don't go putting yourself or other cars at risk just to go sideways, but it's a good idea to use low grip scenarios to learn car control. So best of luck, have fun, do some research, and just, use the time you've got with the car you've got. Whether it's front wheel drive and you're doing a little e-brake slides and you're running out of gas in your M3, just have some fun, do the thing, learn. Rear wheel drive sometimes takes a bit of patience to get out of the hole. The plows do a lot of damage to the road, and you do need to watch out for potholes. I learned that lesson the hard way when I hit a pothole in a press car last winter. Yeah, it was an NSX. I nailed a pothole on I-95 North in a snowstorm, and it took out the wheel and tire of the Acura NSX. It was really unfortunate because I had traffic on both sides. There was nothing I could do. I just kind of had to go through it. And the second I hit it, I knew it was over. It was tough to get that thing. Maybe I'll tell that story at some point, but it was a shame.